Pod Chef. Pod Chef. You're listening to Pod Chef. When I say pod, y'all say chef. Pod Chef. You listening to Pod Chef. It's a podcast about Top Chef, and that's a broadcast. It's on TV, and you can watch it. They got 17 seasons, that's a lot, kid. But you can skip those. We do recaps about the whole show. Not the food, though, but the other stuff. Yeah. You're now listening to Pod Chef, the only official podcast about the TV show Top Chef, with your hosts, Jamal, Brian, and Reeves. And I only said their first names because I don't know everyone's last name, and I'm trying to be polite. Now enjoy the show.
Welcome to Pod Chef, the official Top Chef podcast. I'm your host, Jamal. This is season 6, but it's really season 19. We're getting into Houston. With me, my co-host, the co-host who hosts the most of the co-hosts, Reeves. Say what's up.
What's up? We're here, Top Chef season.
And third Mike, who spent pre-recording telling us how we weren't trying enough. Brian, you're here. Brian,
what's up?
here.
Yeah, what's up, everybody? This is going to be a good episode. We're all going in with great spirits. And I wasn't lecturing everyone. I was just expressing I was mostly mad at myself.
That's not how it came off, though.
That's not at all how
I
you
didn't
phrased
feel
it.
that way.
It's not how it came off. It's not how you delivered it.
It's just it's
There's a lot of finger pointing at the camera at us.
It's a new season, and I just want it to feel like a big season. It's season 19, which, before we get too far into this, our intro says 17 seasons. Is that it's 2 seasons behind?
And
Shouldn't that be updated?
You're coming at.
okay, you know what? I'll do something. I'll ask the person who gave us this intro, who performed this, Jeff Ray. I'll ask him if he'll do an evergreen version and a brand new one, and I'll pay him again for it.
That's not what I'm saying. You
That
act like
sounds
we
like
didn't
what you're saying.
We gave you money to pay him. Don't act like we didn't pay you.
After I
Also,
already paid him, and then I said, "Hey, I got the thing done. So can you guys pay me back?"
I paid $15 a month for this podcast, and no
my
one
God.
reimbursed me.
Oh my God, $15 a month? What is that? One Uber a month?
So what I'm hearing is everything about what we were doing in the podcast needs to change. Brian doesn't like the podcast anymore. It needs to be better. No one's pulling their weight. And I hear that and
Dismiss it.
I dismiss it. Yes, I will continue doing what I do, which is my presence.
Yep.
And we'll see where it goes from there.
All right. So since I'm not doing enough on this podcast, let's get into some of the prep work that I did. So Brian, tell us about the book that you got for Brian's book club.
It doesn't count as prep if you just don't tell me what it is. Are you referencing the fact that I bought Dale's
You bought
cookbook?
Asian American. You bought Dale's cookbook.
did.
Tell us
And
about it.
I don't know. I flipped through it. It's got some cool pictures. It's got a lot of pork recipes, which I
Oh
don't
no.
eat pork,
Hold on.
so that doesn't really.
Hold on. It's a picture book?
No,
Is it a pop-up book?
no, it's a recipe book.
Ooh.
With
A
pictures
chef should
in
do
it.
that. A chef should do a pop-up restaurant pop-up book.
For
about-
who?
About
Who's
their,
that for?
About their recipes, where the recipes come off the page.
Yeah, the ingredients are
Yeah.
in the book. You
Yeah.
open the book, flour goes out all over your face.
Oh my God, that'd be so great.
Yeah.
That'd be like, well, I got flour on my face. Look at me.
Yeah.
You know, and then you do that thing where you're like, trust me, it's flour, not what you're thinking.
Yeah. Not what
I
you're
was reading
thinking.
Dale's cookbook.
Big-
Yeah, it's
Big poof of snow.
yeah, and not like a freaking the ashes of a loved one or something.
Mm-hmm.
So you got Dale's cookbook,
Uh-huh.
Asian American.
Yeah.
He's wearing the nice shoes on the front, Jordans.
Some funny pictures in there. In the pictures, he's got some bikini babes, and he's hanging out on a stoop in Brooklyn. And it's a cookbook, and there are good recipes, but it doesn't take itself too seriously.
Okay.
You know, it's aware that like this is silly. You know, a book about food.
I like that. Are there any like pictures that are ironic?
Oh, yeah. There's ironic pictures. There's ironic recipes. There's
what?
one of
Give
the
us
things-
one ironic recipe.
One of the things he talks about is his love for McChicken nuggets and how he did a little spin on them to make them a little nicer, but they're still at heart McNuggets. And that, like, we're having fun with food
I like that.
in 2022. This book came out in 2015. We were doing it then too.
Yeah. All right. So is that it for the book?
I mostly just flipped through it, and I think the more important discussion is, will I ever cook anything from it?
No.
Yes, that's the next question I was going to ask.
I wasn't, because I know what the answer is.
Yeah. Do you have anything marked that you're like, oh, if I cook something, it'll be this?
I literally kind of like went through it very quickly, and I didn't
Okay.
like take the time to. There were some things that sounded good.
Do you really have this book?
I have
You
the book.
just take a picture of it at a bookstore.
I
Yeah.
have the book.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't think I'll ever do a recipe from it.
It's
But it
like a
looks
conversational piece. Did you put it on your coffee table so that people come in, they're like, "Whoa, what's that?" And you're like, "Oh, it's just Dale."
Maybe
Okay.
it is on the coffee table right now, but only because I haven't moved it from there yet. But our coffee table book currently is a wrestling magazine.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
With Eddie Kingston on the cover. It's
Mm.
called like Orange Crush, I think, and it's a very good magazine actually.
Mm-hmm.
And what recipes are you going to do from that magazine?
Probably none of those recipes either.
Are you going to learn
But-
any wrestling moves? Do they have any like ingredients or guides to do wrestling moves?
Figure 4 leg lock.
Yes.
Yeah, I am gonna do. There is a great recipe in there for how to do a figure 4 leg lock with an old rooster, and
It's got to be old.
it's got to be old.
Coco
Mhm.
Bong.
You do Coco Bond, you put that bad boy, you lock its legs up, you spin it over, and you wrench back. But gotta be careful, because if it rolls you back over, it's reversed, and then your legs hurt.
Mm-hmm. And is this the point where people are turning off the podcast?
Yes.
All the
So
Welcome, new listeners.
Let's talk about something else that I prepped that I don't give credit for. Let's talk about our social media presence.
Oh,
We've got Brian does a great job posting about PodChef. He does a great job doing the gifts,
posting
making
most of the
pictures. I mean, I post every Monday. So,
Do you make cool pictures?
No, I don't have the software, and we thank you for spending the extra $15 so that you only have the software and can make
It was
graphics.
$60.
Oh, I'm sorry, $60. So we thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
We're getting good engagement.
Mhm.
Last week we got a lot of people from the account at Feet Lovers. Not sure why we got
Oh,
so
no.
much engagement from that.
It's all about the hashtags that you use. That's what I'm learning in my social media experiment and what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Because I'm new to this whole social media
Uh-huh.
Eh,
And you put
should we
hashtag
maybe-
Feet Lovers only at the end of all the
I
hashtags
did.
used.
I did.
Uh-huh.
Here are the
And we got-
hashtags. Here are the hashtags that I used. Hashtag podcast, hashtag comedy, hashtag Top Chef, hashtag Bravo Top Chef, hashtag cook, hashtag food, hashtag Feet Lovers Only.
And we got someone who messaged, commented, and said, "DM your price now."
What do they
I can't wait for our next review, which is I love the part when they read hashtags that they
Yeah.
used.
Yeah,
That's my favorite part.
this is all part of show prep.
To our new listeners, we have what I would describe as a bit of a problem with. They call themselves the Foot Clan, but it's this group of foot freaks who
Mhm.
are also fans of our podcast. I guess
And
sometimes
I'm an active member.
yeah,
That's a problem.
it's a problem. Jamal does. I mean, they're not really even dog whistles. They're
Yeah.
pretty obvious when he calls out things to them.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're an active community, and I just, we can't get rid of them. So
You know what
they're
it
here to
is?
stay.
It's like I started a subscription and I forgot about it. I'm just letting it roll over every month.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's kind of like my Feet Freak subscription. I
Mm.
keep forgetting to cancel it, and then I'm like, every time I go to the website to cancel, I'm like, I don't know, I kind of like some of this stuff on here.
Yeah,
I don't think we're above our fans. I think however you come to the show,
I am. But keep going.
however you come to the show, whatever you're into outside of the podcast, that's cool with me. If it's feet, cool. If it's food, great. It's comedy, sure.
Mm-hmm.
If it's
Lack of prep work, that's a
if
problem.
you hate people who prep for things, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, we do improv. That's what we do. So
Hashtag Mise en place.
yeah, I'll do that next time and see how much interaction we get. The only I read you all of those other podcasts. None of these other things say like love, show me your podcast, DM me a price for your podcast. None of them say like, can you send me a picture of your socks that you put the podcast in? That's not happening.
No.
We get the most interaction.
You don't choose your fans, right?
Right.
You can't. It's just, this is a fact. And again, this is for the new fans. We've got some people probably listening because they like Top Chef, but I'm just letting you know now, you're part of this community.
Yeah.
And there's nothing I can do about it.
Anyways, I want to thank Brian for keeping up our social media presence. Does a good job. And I kind of feel like I understand now why you're mad at us for not prepping, because you are shifting your focus to our social media presence. Because this past week, I logged into Facebook for the first time in a very long time, and I was greeted with a post from Brian, and I'd like to read it right now. I'd like to read it right now.
Why am I getting... I feel like
this is from Brian on Facebook. This is what greeted me when I logged into Facebook.
This is great because I am the listener, right?
You are.
I don't have any of these things.
Nope.
I am experiencing this all real time. This is great.
Why haven't you turned this off yet?
So this is the message that greeted me. Hey, so I'm going to go ahead and delete Facebook once I've downloaded all of my images. It's been real, but if you want to connect with me, Instagram, B Jackson in Action, Twitter, not Brian Jackson, or just email me, B Jackson in Action. Be kind to each other. 5 likes.
There were more than 5 likes.
Not when I saw it. So I saw that and I said, "Oh my God, he's removing himself from this so he can focus on Pod Chef." That's great. I love it.
I'm gonna put.
That's why you sent that, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna devote more of my resources to Pod Chef the podcast and less of them to mindlessly scrolling Facebook and just seeing pictures of my friends' kids.
Got it. All right.
There's only so many times you can post congratulations and condolences on all of your friends' kids' pictures until people start like blocking you from their Facebook pages.
Well, it gets more fun if you switch it up. Sometimes I just say condolences. You don't have to congratulate someone just because they had a baby.
That's true.
And if you're listening out there and you just had a baby, condolences.
So that was nice for me because I don't know about any of that stuff. So I'm glad I got to hear Brian. Congrats, I guess, on I feel like it's like you're going old school. You're going very 2016 and getting rid of your Facebook, which is pretty cool.
I'm definitely. I'm a little behind the curve on getting rid of Facebook. It's kind of come back around and it's cool again, and now I don't want it.
Yeah.
Here's the truth. The truth is I'm scared of the metaverse. And I don't want the metaverse to have all my information.
I don't know what any of that stuff is. So listen, you should have gotten out. That's good though. It's probably less stress for you.
People I know are doing comedy in the metaverse. What does that mean? I don't want to find out. Can the metaverse see me right now?
I don't know. So that's our social media presence. And we've I think that went over pretty well. So now let's go on to, this is the segment that Brian's done a lot of prep work for. So Brian, we're going to do report cards that we got from Tom. So go ahead and
So Tom didn't do the report cards this week for last season. He told me they were in the mail, but I think he lied because they didn't show up. And he kept being like, "Check your mailbox, check your mailbox. I think they're there."
And this is Tom, the Tom.
This is the Tom Colicchio.
the Tom.
For new listeners, this podcast, Pod Chef, you're listening to, is a podcast that Tom Colicchio is making us do.
Mm-hmm.
He is big fans of ours. He loves us. He reached out and told us to do a podcast. He's very involved in the process of Pod Chef. He gives us report cards after every season. Usually, he says it's coming. He says he might do it verbally. He might send us a audio report card. So we'll see.
That'd be fun.
He said he might need another week to get it done. He says he didn't think about it until about like 4:00 today. He needs another week to get it done.
That sounds like, and
he's busy.
He's busy, and we know he's a creative force, but he kind of lets his creative juices like pull him in different directions, and the inspiration can hit him in different times. I mean, he spent a large portion of the fall writing scripts
Mhm.
and other things. And then he
Yeah.
seemed to get a little bit dry after that. But like
Mhm.
now it seems like the inspiration maybe is hitting him again.
Mm-hmm.
And he's giving us some good material.
Yeah.
So we look forward to that. We
So
look
it's gonna
forward
be
to
good.
Yeah.
Come back next week. This is the cliffhanger. Come back next week.
So I look forward to that. So let's just get into Chefs I Prepared for You. This is a segment we do every week where we talk about what we had last night for dinner, and only last night, and presented as if we're presented to the judges on Top Chef. I'll go first. Chefs I Prepared for You, arugula and citrus salad with black beans and pan-seared blackened chicken breast.
What is the citrus part of your salad?
I
Lime
actually
juice?
Put fruit in. I put fruit in.
Okay.
Ooh.
Name
Mhm.
that fruit.
It was lime and lemon.
Hunks of lime and lemon? Again, you're making Sprite salad, man. This is Sprite salad.
Okay, and is that racist? If you're listening, and you
It's
think,
not racist, but it is racially charged.
if you're listening and you think that might be a little too racial for you, leave a message, leave a review, and we will review it. And Brian will either adjust up or down his racial comments.
I'll probably get angry and say that I'm not racist. What we will do is remind people that if you leave us, my wife said, hey, tell people to leave the reviews saying when they have dinner again last night. That was a fun thing that we did. If you want to leave a comment, leave a review.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us we have dinner last night in the style that we're doing it with Chefs I Prepared for You.
Mhm.
And we'll read it on the podcast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. It's a fun way for us to interact. Just put in what you had for dinner. And then, as a postscript, if you want to let Brian know if stuff he said is racist or not, you can put that in there.
Yep.
And I mean, people might not know this, but, kind of like a Yelp review, we can respond.
Yes.
So Brian might get in there and respond and let you know, no, it's not in all caps.
Yeah. But don't write it on Facebook because Brian ended his Facebook, so you can't.
I'm still there, but I won't be there soon. So wait, so you just put the juice of a lemon and a lime on this arugula?
Yeah. No, I put big chunks, even the rind, and ate the whole thing.
I don't think you did that.
No, I just put the juice.
That sounds good. Give it a little sour.
If I'm gonna keep this 100. I was trying to spruce up the sound of this.
That's
Did
why
that come
I
across?
asked.
Did that come across?
That's why I asked.
That's why you asked so that you could get in your racist joke about black people and Sprite.
No, I thought you had just put lime juice on it. I didn't realize you did the Sprite with lemon and lime
Mm-hmm.
and basketball.
Okay, now
Those are
that
the
is
three-
too far.
Those are the three ingredients.
That's
to
even too
Sprite.
far for me, I think. So definitely leave a review on what you think about that. And this will be staying in.
So you put black beans in the arugula. I was going to tell you.
Don't say black that way after you've been saying what you've been saying.
It did
Yep.
seem more emphasized.
Right?
than the other
It's like you hit
words.
the ack part. Really
The
hard.
ack with a hard ack. The other day when you said you were trying to
Episode title right there.
incorporate more beans into your diet, I was going to tell you
Mm-hmm.
a delicious way to incorporate beans that are black, is in eggs.
Yeah, scrambled eggs.
Scrambled eggs, throw some beans in there, maybe a little
Oh, yeah.
cheese.
Well, I'm not doing that, but I will put the beans in. I actually was thinking about doing that in the morning. Spinach and beans and
Oh yeah,
scrambled eggs.
that's solid.
Yeah.
That's solid.
That gets you a little bit of everything.
Yep.
Are you just doing beans or are you fucking with lentils and stuff like that?
I haven't gone into the lentil shop yet.
They're nice. Get a little protein in that too.
Haven't gone over there yet. I'm gonna dabble.
Mm-hmm.
Dip your toes into the lentils.
Dip your toes into
Dip
it.
my toes.
They are
There's a
very
lot
tasty.
of overlap between cooking and food and feet. I'm just gonna say it. Dip your toe in, put your foot in something.
Yeah.
You measure things by like a foot of vegetable
the-
stock.
You send these piggies to the market.
Yeah, there's biggies.
So, I was talking about the whole dog whistle thing. This is more like a bullhorn, kind of
Mhm.
like loud
It's not a
noise.
secret.
Yeah, just calling them out, and they just
Mhm.
kind of like slowly creep out of the woods, sniffing the ground for feet.
That's where they would sniff too.
Yeah.
Clan, yeah.
You think the ground
Um,
smells like feet all the time?
Probably.
I don't know. I don't know if we should put those kinds of questions out there.
All right, Reeves.
Chefs, I prepared for you steaks and potatoes, which appropriate
Yeah,
given what happens on the show.
that's right.
Yeah, it is.
It was not
Beef.
good. I did a poor job with it.
Oh no.
What
I'm
happened?
normally very good cooking steak, but I done fucked it up. I overcooked it. It's got to be a little bit overcooked these days, and I think I rested it too long. I kept it in too long. I didn't get a good sear. It was bad, top to bottom,
Gray all the way through.
gray all the way through,
Oof.
chewy. But
Mm.
today, cut it up, steak tacos.
Put some ketchup on it.
Put some ketchup on it.
Chewy all the way through still.
Mhm, still chewy. It tasted kind of like Chipotle steak, but like the next day.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So that was, when there's life gives you lemons, you put it on your salad or whatever.
It was
Gray
Sprite.
all the way through. I
What?
told a story about how I grew up eating steak the wrong way, right?
I also
No.
did.
Yeah, my dad would just cook the hell out of a steak in the oven, and like I thought steak was this tough, leathery, chewy thing
Me
that
too.
I could never get down until like probably shortly before Reeves, you played that prank and you made us take you to a proper steakhouse, and then I got steak like medium, and I was like, oh, this is how you're supposed to eat steak.
Yeah.
I've
It was
been
a very
eating
funny
gray,
prank. Yeah.
like shoe leather steak my entire life, and like I hated steak. Like all I did was like eat that a couple times as a kid. And I was like, I hate steak. I'm done.
Were you ever the kid that like would have steak in their like cheek for the rest of the day? Like,
Yes.
you're
Oh
in
my
the
God.
you're in the tub and your
Dude.
mom's like, "What's in your mouth?" And
got
it's the
this-
steak from dinner.
Yeah, I got this steak bubble gum that just won't go
I
away.
cannot get it down.
And I'm like, I'm sitting here, I'm like, how much more chewing do I have to do before I can like take a part of this down?
100%
just-
chance that's still in your colon.
Yeah.
Probably.
It doesn't go away.
But that was like when I was a kid, I hated steak. I was like, I don't understand why people like it. I don't know what people are talking about. My entire worldview of steak was just this cooked to death thing. And
Yeah.
it wasn't until I was an adult and I realized I've been eating steak wrong the whole time.
It can be something beautiful.
Similarly, when I was a kid, whenever my parents would make lobster, which I've always heard was such a great thing, whenever they would make lobster, they'd burn the fuck out of it and smear it in feces, and then I would eat it, and I'd be like, "This tastes. I don't get it. This tastes awful. I don't
Yeah.
get it."
That would make it pretty bad.
That's what I thought lobster was. It's
Hold
just
on a
this
second.
burnt poop smeared food, and I was like, "Who's eating this?"
Yeah. And I mean, you're from a lobster town, so that makes sense. Lobsters
Yeah.
are cheaper there. Yeah.
We'd have champagne, but it was just piss in a cup.
Yeah.
And my parents like, "This is champagne,"
Mm.
and I they'd lock me in my room and not let me see anybody.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, you know what? You got out, and you
Yes.
you don't eat and drink those things anymore. So
Yeah.
that's good.
That reminds me of one of my favorite jokes from the movie Old School, when they're like, "Hey, didn't we put you in a dumpster once?" And he says, "Yeah, I got out." Jeremy Piven, very funny.
Oh man, so
I think he's
funny.
canceled recently.
Oh my gosh.
What
so
were the
funny.
potatoes?
Entourage.
Yes.
Were they
Um,
Hasselback? What kind of potatoes were these?
These were just normal potatoes that I cut up, russet potatoes, diced them up, and then threw them in the oven, roasted them. And I also didn't do a great job with those either. I got the timing off. I didn't put rosemary on them, which I think really helps.
I was gonna. Yeah, I would assume that you did.
I
I
think so.
normally do, and I didn't do that. I'm disappointed in myself, but you know what? I'll probably do better next week.
We have
Or
off
maybe
nights.
Yeah,
have off
we all
nights.
have off nights.
So,
Not
Brian, what did
me.
you
I
buy?
nailed it last
What
night.
did you
Chef,
buy?
last night I prepared for you fancy grilled cheese and tomato soup.
Ooh.
Now the tomato soup was bought. It was from Trader Joe's,
Mhm.
and it tasted more like warm gazpacho. It was full of onions and stuff. It was really kind of gross.
Mhm.
But the grilled cheese I made with Gruyere and another
Gruyere?
type of cheese that I don't remember what it was, but it was nice. And that's all we
sounds
had.
Good. I think that show that came on after Top Chef Family, someone cooked tomato soup and the grilled cheese. I don't like that show. I don't
Hey,
like
Reeves.
watching kids on TV.
Reeves,
What's up?
Reeves, can we have a sidebar real quick?
Oh yeah. Let's
Brian, can you stay right here? We're gonna just
Stay right here.
Yeah, just stay here.
Mm.
Me and Reeves are gonna do it in a breakout room real quick.
Oh, okay.
Hey Reeves,
Yeah, what's up?
you know we can't talk about Top Chef Family.
I didn't Is that because
Tom said don't talk about any of the sister brother shows. Just talk about Top Chef.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that. And just a quick question: the reason that we're saying this away from Brian is because he's a mole.
No, because Tom said if you review any of the sister brother shows of Top Chef, I'll kill Brian.
Oh my god!
So
I didn't
now
know I
I
put
got to
his life in
deliver
danger.
that news to Brian.
Holy shit! Okay. Well, I'm
On
glad you
the
told me.
same week he removed himself from Facebook, and now I have to tell him this,
Yeah, and now he's marked, and he's going to think
Yeah.
that's the reason.
and he's gonna think that's the reason.
But it's because I put a target on it. Okay.
Okay, so just don't bring up brother sister shows of Top Chef
Okay.
anymore.
You're right.
Okay.
Okay, I got it.
All right, let's go back in. All right, Brian. So the
You okay?
You scared me.
You were asleep like a horse,
Yeah.
like standing up.
Yeah, my beautiful mane just down the side of my head.
Why did you have a rope around your neck tied to the door?
Young woman stroking the side of me with a big brush.
Yeah, I mean that seems nice. So
It was pretty nice.
yeah.
It was pretty nice. Pretty good setup I got over here. All the hay I could eat.
Yeah,
hope
I
you
know.
don't get I hope you don't get a foot injury.
Yeah, I put a bullet in my fucking head. New listeners, this is Pod Chef. We're a weekly podcast that we do every week. We talk about Top Chef sometimes, and we'll do that after the break once Jamal gives us a nice segue if he can think of one.
Well, we're talking about, you felt like you were a horse. That's kind of like primal instincts.
Sort of, yeah.
Yeah, so we're right back after this.
Pod Chef.
All right, and we're back. This is Pod Chef, Season 6 of Pod Chef, Episode 1. But we're reviewing Season 19, Episode 1, Primal Instincts. Press play, go to the Bravo website, and just, find the full episode and replay it. Brian, you okay?
Mhm.
Yeah, no, I'm fine. Yeah. I just,
I was doing the intro, and you kind of like were rubbing your face, kind of like you were listening to the State of the Union address. Right? You're good, though.
no, the way that I watch the State of Union address is that I don't do it. Who the fuck watches that shit? Fucking nerds. No, what I was going to say, because you brought up the Bravo app, and I want to let people know, anyone who's also watching this on the Bravo app, the commercials are really bad. There's an echo because I'm screaming. There's one
What's with the echo?
where this guy drops an AirPod into his friend's mouth.
What?
What?
And then there's one for this new reality show called like Candy something, and that's bad too. The commercials are bad.
Hmm.
That's a
Okay.
shame.
Yeah.
As people remember, I have to watch it through my neighbor's window because I don't own a TV because my TVs took over my basement and they run my house like a gym. So I don't get to see those commercials.
Yeah.
I did weirdly get an email from your TV the other day, Reeves, that was telling me
Oh,
that
God.
they're running a promotion right now where I can sign up for a year and not have to pay any sign up fees, but it's only $25 a month to use your house like a gym.
It's like it's like Union Station in my basement. Or just, and I mean, and you think, oh, it's like people coming in and out. No, it's like freaking laptops, TI-83s, the other freaking iPads coming in. They have a bunch. They have like a wad in the morning. They do one in the afternoon. They do one at night, and it's just like I can't even go to the basement. That's where my laundry is. It's like I haven't had fresh clothes in like weeks because I can't go down there because they scream at me when they go down there. They say you got to do as many power cleans as you can in 10 minutes. And I'm like, I was trying to get my laundry. Also, I think that's dangerous. And it's
Power clean.
not good.
That's
Yeah.
laundry.
Yeah, exactly. Well, that's the type of power cleaning I need.
Yeah.
But
This is why your cooking's off. You got all this stuff going on.
Yeah, because I'm so stinky and it's so loud. They're slamming the equipment. It's so loud.
You can't even like smell past yourself to like make a good meal because like everything smells like onion.
Yeah. So, yeah, I guess listeners, if you get an email from my TV about joining a gym that's in my basement, please ignore it and maybe even respond and say what you're doing is wrong. You should stop doing it because it's really ruining my life.
Yeah.
I just sent it to spam, which I think my computer reads, so that might not be good.
Yeah.
Top Chef Houston, we're here. Dawn is here. She's our guest judge right out the gate. It's almost like Dawn has not gone home since season 18. It's like she just stayed with the crew and said, let's start filming. She doesn't look like she's aged a day. She looks exactly the same.
Maybe it's another timing problem. She like thought that the show hadn't ended yet, and so she's hanging around.
Possibly. We get the prize money again, $250K pre-tax. So, that's not going to be what the take home is.
Mm-hmm.
You guys sick of paying taxes yet? I'm over that shit.
No, I think it's the most American thing you can do.
Hey, 250 to win it all. Someone commented on the trailer for Top Chef saying that makes all the difference. Now I'm watching.
Yep.
So there you go.
Mm-hmm.
I kept, when I was watching this, I kept being like, everyone looks so much older. And it's realized because we had been watching the season 4 from like 15 years ago.
Yeah. And everyone looks super
Everyone's so
young.
much older in like a year.
Yeah.
Yep.
It was ages ago. Do we want to talk about how like newer seasons are kind of humorless?
It's this is going to be tough.
Yeah.
Okay, and we got to do this without kind of sounding like we're out of touch.
It's hard. Listen, I like it. This Top Chef is great. The new season seems like fun.
Super
but
inclusive.
it's not. People aren't very funny, and there's not a lot of characters, so it's a little bit humorless.
And
but-
is this the price we pay by letting everyone in?
Mhm.
It's
about the cooking, which I get. But
I wonder
But
if
I
it's
want
for
characters.
Yeah.
You remember the characters, not the dishes.
No, I couldn't tell you what 80s people cooked ever.
We still remember Ken from season 1.
yeah, and he was
He
only
didn't
on
cook
for
a-
one episode of this
What
cooking
did he
show.
cook? What did he cook? We don't know, but we
I
know.
don't know.
I know they
put
threw
his
it out.
Finger in the sauce. Yeah.
Yeah. What
You
did
remember characters.
Marcel cook? Who knows?
Who knows?
What did
When
Hunk
you-
cook? No idea, but we know that he has a monkey at home.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's got a monkey.
Oh,
Listeners, go back and listen to our season. Season, what was it? 3? Yeah.
yeah.
We get into that. We can't get into that now. Too
Can't
confusing.
talk right now.
No one has a monkey this season, as far as I can tell.
No.
In episode 1, we don't know who the monkey is,
Mm-hmm.
or who has a monkey.
Not yet.
Hopefully to be revealed soon.
I assume it like next week, someone will definitely say, "Oh, I've got a monkey at home."
And then it's just off to the races for
It's off
Brian
to
and
the
I.
races, yeah.
So Dawn is there, and they got to do a team challenge, which is they had to. This was very weird. They had to pick knives. They all got 1, 2s, or 3s, and then they were told to get in a group with a 1, a 2, and a 3. And normally, when you draw knives and they have 3 different numbers in them, you bunch up by the number. All the
Yep.
3s over here, all the
Yep.
2s over here. I would have been very confused by this.
I think someone made a mistake. I think they, in their mind, forgot that there's enough pairings to pair up with the knives, and there's like just 1, 2, 3. Everyone find each other. They thought it was like a good like team building thing to get to know icebreaker, but it really would have been fun to be like all the 1s over here, 2s over there, like how we've all been doing it since kindergarten.
Yeah. But instead, they didn't do it that way. It was chaos. They were all running around with knives.
Literally running around with knives.
Yeah, and what have we gotten into what the challenge was?
No, this is a good challenge, though.
There's a good challenge. The challenge is when they're in their teams of 3, the chefs were asked to create cohesive dishes while cooking relay style. So the chefs took turns cooking their team's dish, but were only allowed 10 minutes each. In addition to that, teammates were not allowed to communicate with each other about what they were trying to do with their dishes. And we all know that communication is key.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Padma said this challenge is the silent killer, which is not correct. It's high
Also,
blood
that was her
pressure.
attempt at jokes. That's
Yeah.
a joke I submitted, and it fell flat.
I'm really hesitant. Maybe they fixed the writer's room. I don't know who would have done it, but maybe they fixed it.
I don't know if we
I
should
don't
go.
know.
I don't know if we should go.
No, but yeah, I think Reeves is right. The silent killer is blood pressure or shark in murky water. Those are 2 things. It's certainly not a relay challenge where you can't talk. No one died.
Or it's ice falling off of a skyscraper.
Yes.
Well, then there's the perfect weapon, which of course is a nice pick, or not nice pick, a
Ice dagger.
a dagger made of ice.
No. I was thinking
How do I know that?
Jackie Chan.
I'll never tell.
Yeah.
Jackie Chan did that.
No, it's the perfect weapon.
Yeah.
Jackie Chan wearing a suit. The
Mhm.
suit.
The suit.
Someone had COVID recently. Let's listen.
So quickly, which sucks. I had COVID a month ago. Everything was fine, but I lost my sense of smell and taste. But for now, I don't see a need to tell anyone. God, does that make me a dick?
Does that make him a dick that he's not telling people he had COVID?
Hey,
Is that
I've
his
got a
joke?
question. Does that make him a dick? That he's not telling people that he had COVID and lost his taste of smell? Does that make him a dick?
I don't think so. Because, like, I don't really care if he has it or not. Like, why should I give a shit?
It definitely is a weird thing to say.
Super weird.
Is he talking about maybe just having people that will need to smell, stick their noses in his food, stick their tongues in his food? He's like, does that make me a dick that I'm like making them like lap up and snort up my food when I should be doing that?
I should be tasting my own dishes, and I can't. And every time someone asks me to taste their dish, I just have to say, "Yeah, it tastes great,
This is good.
Yeah, it tastes great. Tastes great.
perfectly seasoned."
He has to be like, you know what? This needs to taste like something. And they're going to be like, okay. And they'll keep adding stuff to it.
Yeah.
I think my biggest takeaway from that quote is that he says, I had COVID, everything is okay, but I lost my taste and smell. That sounds like shit is not okay, dude.
that's not
Yeah.
okay.
that sounds fucked
brutal.
up.
Yeah.
That sounds like you got fucked up, dude.
That's not okay. I won't get my wisdom teeth taken out because they said it might paralyze my mouth. It's not okay. All right.
I learned about that in the chair. To get my wisdom
As
teeth
they were
taken
putting
out.
you under.
Hey, Brian, that's when they told me, and I got up.
Did you really?
Yeah, that's when they were telling me. They were like, "Oh, looking at your X-ray, your wisdom teeth are kind of low on your nerve, and it might cause paralysis in your face." And I said, "I'm out."
Yeah, you
I took the thing right off my neck, and I said, "No thanks."
kicked
Wow.
over that tray immediately.
Yeah.
What
I
a
said, "No,
baller
thanks."
move.
Get away from me. I said, "We're canceling." He said, "You know, it's like $100 charge." I said, "I make money. It's fine. I'm having lobster with shit on it tonight. You think I care about this?"
Yeah. You
And I
paid
went
in
out and
lobsters.
Yeah, I bathed in lobsters.
Yeah.
And I said, "Wisdom teeth." I showed them some wisdom.
You smell like shit. Yeah, I had lobster last night.
Clean my teeth.
So they did some cooking stuff, and I think this is a very fun challenge, like you mentioned. I wish that they like wouldn't let the other chefs watch them cook. I feel like that kind of takes away some of the difficulty. But still, even so, they were watching them. The team that didn't have anything on their plate was because the dude hid the pork.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was a lot of hiding going on.
Yeah, I don't know why he did that.
You could probably indicate. You could probably show them, like point without saying, right?
Yeah,
Like,
it
listen,
didn't say
this
you
is what
can't
this is.
gesture.
Or
Yeah.
don't hide it.
Yeah,
Like,
don't hide it.
Don't hide it at all. Put it
That's a
out
mistake.
visible so everyone can see it. Like, what are you afraid of? Someone other team's gonna take it? Like, come on.
Yeah, he was like, I put it underneath the grill to keep it warm. No, you hid
No,
it.
you didn't. You hit it.
You don't want anyone else to take your
Yeah.
pork chops.
So your precious pork chops. Why not just put it off the fire on top of the stove? Like it's in a
Yeah.
hot pan already. It's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Literally, someone's running in now to take your spot, and you. Anyways, so we have our first DNF, and it's appropriate that Dawn's here because she's like, "That's you're probably as good as me. You probably go to the finals." So Sarah is the game master. Let's listen.
What do you have going on over there? How are you spending these 10 minutes?
I'm supposed to know what I'm doing right now? I have proteins thawing. I cook very much on the fly, and I'm also a very collaborative chef. So I approach the entire challenge like a big choose your own adventure, and I am the game master. Does anybody find garlic?
You gotta look out because she's playing the game hard.
Yeah,
And she's a freaking mastermind.
you know,
You guys know where the garlic is? Oh yeah, because I threw it down the fucking drain. Because I'm playing dirty and I'm the
warm.
game master.
I did it to keep it warm.
hmm
So when I worked at laser tag in high school, on the back of my shirt said "Game Master."
Oh shit.
So you were the game master.
I literally was the game master.
When did you relinquish that title to Sarah?
Oh, probably like a year ago.
Okay. So she's
Okay.
kind of new at it, I
Yeah,
guess.
we did a whole ceremony. She had to beat me 101 in laser tag. And then she beat me and I handed my shirt over and said, "You're the game master now."
hmm And she took that and her laser gun to Top Chef,
Mm-hmm.
where she will zap out all the competition.
Do Choose Your Own Adventure games have a game master? Aren't they just like written in a book? And you're reading Goosebumps and it says like, do you look underneath the bed or do you not? Turn to page 25 or page 35. You turn to 35 and it says you died.
Yeah, well, if you don't die and you win the book, then you're a game master.
Okay,
Yeah.
so she won the book.
Yeah. You gotta win. You gotta win at Choose Your Own Adventure, and she's done that. And she's bringing it to Top Chef. She's devious and she's a mastermind. And I'm looking out for her.
Reeves, did you watch the Undertaker Netflix thing where he's the game master and it's got the other wrestlers, the New Day in it?
No, I haven't seen that. I've heard
Yeah.
about it though.
Yeah. I haven't watched it either. I'm not into playing games. I'm a grown up.
They wouldn't let me in it, brother. I was bringing too much heat into that Netflix movie.
All right, let's talk about Blue Team that didn't finish. Let's listen to what Padma say.
Blue team, please come up.
Sorry, guys.
Oh no. What happened?
I lost.
So this is I guess I'll call it like a whimsical moment where Padma looks so the Blue Team hasn't actually been able to put anything on their plate. They bring it to Padma, and Padma looks at her plate and she's like, what happened? There's nothing there. And then she looks over at Dawn, and Dawn is scooping things out into her mouth. And she's like, what's going on? And they were like, you have to imagine, Padma. You have to believe. And then she turned back to Dawn and she said, hey, Padma. And she flicks some food. It hits her in the face.
Catch! Julia Roberts is laughing her fucking ass off
Yeah.
in the corner.
Yeah, and then there was a big food fight.
This is our first food fight of the season. And it came early at the quickfire. And so, they had to set everything back up. They had to clean everything. It took a whole, you could tell the continuity was off when people came up the next time because the plates had, food on them.
Very colorful icing-like food.
Yeah, what was that food?
Icing, right?
It was icing. There's eating icing.
I think
got
so.
to fly, got to fight, got to
Yes.
grow.
Got to grow.
You know my favorite thing from that movie? Have I told you guys?
That
I think I probably have.
Everyone wants to fuck Peter Pan.
Oh, no.
Rewatch it. That's the truth.
My favorite thing from that movie is in the very beginning when Peter comes back from, I guess they're at a play, and they come in and all the windows are open in the house and they run up the stairs, and I guess the cleaning lady is on the stairs and she's just in shambles. And she says,
it's some good acting.
She
it
says,
is a quality acting moment. Yeah, I know it.
the children were screaming. The children were screaming. It's my favorite.
What is this movie you're talking about?
Hook. Yeah.
Oh. I always had a question about Peter Pan. Was this movie, did Captain Hook, was he just trying to protect the kids that Peter Pan kept kidnapping?
That's a layer to it. Maybe that's the truth.
He never attack anyone else but Peter Pan?
He always wanted Peter Pan. And you know what? Now that I think about it, he really didn't. I think he does shoot some people. But I do agree with you. I think he really was just after Peter Pan. And he was being a nice guy and actually probably a better father to those other people.
It seemed like he was a great father to Peter's kid.
Yeah. Because
I'm just...
Gave him a cool hat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just thinking about Peter Pan differently. I think it's just a weird... Because he keeps kidnapping kids and taking them to Neverland. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's like... But why does he keep taking them there? What was the whole point of that?
Does he kidnap them and take them there?
Isn't that how they get there?
Yeah,
Doesn't
they
he
go in a
kidnap
sack,
them?
right? Throws them in a big sack and then
They are
flies
the
them off.
lost boys. They got
Yeah,
lost.
like kids who've been kidnapped.
They're the lost girls.
Okay, he was just doing it to boys. What do you want?
I think so. So anyway, Padma was able to imagine. She got her imagination back, and Tom found his marbles, so that's good.
So if everyone wants to know why we had to move on, it's because we have a licensing agreement with Peter Pan and Disney, so we can't talk too much about that. So we'll move on. Did anyone notice? I noticed this. Did anyone see that the green team, which was majority black, didn't get any time to speak at all at
Yeah.
the table.
It was
Yeah,
weird, right?
it was weird.
Oh no, it wasn't weird to me because I already told you this is one of the predictions happening right now. Top Chef is going back to its roots, and I called this, and it's happening right now. The black team didn't get to speak at all. They just presented a dish and like, oh, thank you.
I wanted to hear what they thought of
that.
that dish. It sounded like a good dish to
It
me.
looked
I
good.
was very excited that they figured out what the cream. He was like, "Hope they get this cream corn." I was like, "There's no way they know it's cream corn," and they did.
They did.
I'm telling you right now, they're going back to form.
And then he was like, "We got to get something to like mix it up with some bitterness with the Brussels sprouts in there."
Mhm.
That
Those
was
are
a good dish.
They had shallots and Brussels sprouts in there cooking.
That's a
up.
solid dish. We heard nothing about it.
Nothing.
Who knows? Who knows how it tasted? We don't because they didn't tell us. They didn't show us.
So, yellow team wins the quick fire and they get 3-way immunity. Is this the first time they did 3-way immunity?
That's a one hell of a prize.
Right?
Yeah,
3 people know that they can't go home.
it
That
probably
looked
has
good
happened
too.
before,
That
but I
looked like a
can't
good
remember.
meal.
Yeah,
So we go shopping. You know, they got to do their elimination. The elimination challenges, you know, they work in the same teams as the quick fire challenge, but they got to create 3 course meals featuring prime cuts of beef. So the 5 options were chuck, rib, short loin, sirloin, and ram. And so they all stayed in their teams, and the winning team got to pick first, and then they got to pick who went second.
Did you guys notice when they were in the store, they were like, we got to get olive oil. Do they not have anything in the pantry anymore, Top Chef? Olive oil they got to
Like I
get?
said, they're going back to the roots, maybe.
yeah.
It's back to the bare bones, man. They said, why are we giving them all this stuff? We're making it too easy. We need
I
to
think-
make them start incorporating their budget into all the excess stuff as well.
I guess. Plus, they also probably blew a lot of their money on the prize money and also the new fucking like workroom where they hide out when they do the judges. That room was
Yeah,
fucking
that
awesome.
Room looks like
Mhm.
that doesn't look like it's sequestered at all. It's like your fun room.
Yeah.
Commonplace. They can all.
That's probably why they were having drinks back there before going to the judges table.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because they were like, we're in a little closet. We got to chug all this beer, get all fucked up.
We got shopping with masks on. The chefs are
Yep.
just like us. We
Mhm.
get it. And then we find out Leia, Princess has a bladder infection,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not good.
I wondered how one knows they have a bladder infection.
You feel it.
But usually you feel like a urinary tract infection or a UTI. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
what you usually feel.
Mm-hmm.
To me, a bladder infection seems like you
Maybe
need
she
a
was
doctor to
diagnosed shortly
diagnose
before
that.
coming.
Yeah, maybe she has some kind of pre-existing condition.
She gets them a lot, maybe.
And I don't want to say that I had looked at everyone's medical charts prior to the season starting,
Uh-huh.
but I will remind listeners that one of my predictions was that someone would be medically evacuated from the show. And I
Wow.
was pretty
So,
close.
pretty
And in my
close.
opinion, I was right.
Yeah, you're basically. I mean, she did go home right away and go to sleep. She didn't sit
Yeah.
around and mingle with anybody. So
No.
kind of close.
That's a pretty
Basically
good
got it.
prediction.
The next day they do a pretty long cooking montage, and I swear I thought at some point in time Tom was going to come in and drop.
He
some
never
kind
showed
of,
up.
like,
Yeah. it was
never
weird.
showed up. It was so long. They went around to like each team like 3 or 4 times. I was like, okay, Tom's popping in and gonna throw him a curveball. Like, you're switching with this person and this team and whatever. I thought that was gonna happen, and it did not happen.
You really need it. Like, because we're watching these old seasons and it always happens. It's very much part of the show. And you do need someone else to come in and kind of question what they're
Mhm.
doing to put some kind of element of drama into it if it doesn't like create itself. So it
Tom-
is like
yeah.
you notice it when it's not there.
Tom didn't even come by and ask them what they're making.
Yeah, he didn't
Like,
even
he-
know.
He like, it was all a surprise to him even. So that was interesting.
That's why he had his
Um,
glasses on at the
basically.
freaking when he was eating because he was like, "What is this? I
Yeah,
haven't
what
heard
is
anything
this?"
about it."
They're like, Tom, you know what this is? He's like, I don't fucking know. I didn't go back there.
I don't freaking know.
He's like, I thought you were going back there.
Yeah.
Gail's like, I'm not going back there. I thought Pat was going back there. Pat's like,
Gail's-
I didn't go back there.
Mm-mm.
And they're like, what about this guy, this old guy with the bad hair? You're like, I didn't go back there.
They're like,
No.
Ted Allen, why don't you go back there? Oh, you're not here?
And what about that fat guy over there? He's like, I go back there.
All right.
Dawn, did you go back there?
I'll go back there.
Kristen?
No, I thought.
Well,
they
then
thought
who
that
went
that
back
guy-
there? Was it just them?
Oh no, they're by themselves for
They're by
hours.
themselves cooking.
I haven't heard anything for a long time. You know they're getting in trouble back there, but
Yeah.
they weren't. They were very well behaved.
Yes.
So the brown team comes out first, and boy, do they set out a great dish, and it sets the bar high.
freaking knock it out of the park. It seemed like
yeah.
they loved that shit.
Their beef dishes were great. I just want to point out I have an issue with Dawn giving so much feedback in this elimination, considering she didn't even finish the first elimination when she was on the show. So it's kind of ironic she's now giving this very critical critiques to all the contestants.
Jamal, you really have it out for Dawn.
I'm not letting it
don't
go.
like Dawn,
I'm
yeah.
not letting it go. All right.
People like her. People.
That's
I was
right,
reading.
like her.
I was reading a comment on someone's thing, and they were like, "Dawn could have." Oh, I know what I was reading. I was reading a Gawker article.
Oh God.
Here's the name of it. Here's the name of it.
Now we're gonna get canceled.
Top Chef crowned a sex pest winner and never spoke of it again. And the comments are like, or in this article, it's like Dawn could have won or should have won.
I don't think so.
Sex pest.
It just reminds me of like a gnat that keeps like, I don't know, pinching my nipple or something like that.
You gotta go pest control. Yeah. So Padma served rare steak and she doesn't like it. Let's listen.
Thank you. Wow, this is really rare.
Yep, it is.
Yep.
Now, when this first happened, I thought that was like Padma saying, "Wow, this is really rare." Everyone finished a dish, and she was sitting next to Dawn, and Tom's like, "Yeah, it is rare that people finish their dishes, huh, Dawn?"
Throw it in Dawn's face.
But it
She's
was
eating
actually
right there.
because the beef was rare.
Yeah, looked like it'd barely been cooked.
They should have did better on that. So we're one episode in, and one of my predictions was getting someone from every past season of Top Chef on the show, and we already have 2 people from 2 past seasons, season 10 and season 18, in one episode. So I'm well on my way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm well on my way.
Good prediction. Nice to have Kristen back. She obviously a very talented chef.
Yes.
She's
Go home
in a lot
eating.
of TV shows.
Mm-hmm.
Good personality.
Red team forgot the bok choy, and that felt like a bok choy.
Stephanie, tell us about your dish.
I have the seared top round with a little bit of kimchi paste, then some sweet potato puree, and oxtail demi.
Was there braised bok choy in your dish?
No, there is not. That's the one thing I forgot.
The one thing that's obviously not there because it's the only green thing that would be on the plate.
Hit her with a. Do you see braised bok choy on the
That's
dish?
what I would have said.
Dawn.
That's what I. This is what I'm talking. This is why I'm still giving Dawn grief. You know, because even though she's the best scrubber against grease, I got to give her some grief. You know, because she's still coming at these contestants like, did you miss something in your dish? Yeah, Dawn, kind of like you did. You know, with a peanut sauce. Maybe I should have put a peanut sauce in here, and then you would have been like, oh, the peanut sauce is missing. I know what that's like. You're gonna come after me over some braised bok choy? Bok choy.
It's pretty upsetting considering there was really only 3 components to her dish. It was steak, potatoes, and then her way of making it Asian was putting bok choy in there. So big miss on her part. I think she could have maybe gone about it a different way in the response. She could have just been like, but it is there, isn't it?
Lift up the meat, you'll find it.
Just the entire edit of this episode, you knew the red team fucked up.
Yeah.
Like as soon as Stephanie said, I don't do Asian food, and they were like, that's fine, just put a piece of bok choy on it.
Yeah.
And as soon as the like very, very white woman was like, I'll make a summer roll, and I was like, okay, this is gonna go terribly. And even I love big portions. I want a big portion. I hate this. I'm not down with portion bashing of any size. But when she put those summer rolls together, I said, those are too big. I said, they are going to complain that they are too big and they are hard to eat. And just watching that man eat it, it's like, it's
all coming apart.
And I was like, they're going to fucking read this for filth.
Very stressful
Also,
to watch.
steak beef has to be very tender if you're going to put it in a spring roll because you can't bite it and then pull it all out. And I was like, those don't look like they're going to like be super tender. They look like they're going to be pulled out, and they were.
And Kristen, her first bite got sinew and had to spit it all out.
Yeah, I think so. I understand that maybe part of the challenge was you need like something that unifies all the dishes together, but I think just lean into doing good dishes, because even if they aren't unified, they're probably not going to eliminate everyone or someone on your team if everyone cooks something that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a bit of a mistake.
You can always say, what's the unifying thing in this dish? Oh, all the dishes are good. That's the unifying thing.
We crushed it. That's what unified it.
And then Tom goes, no, seriously, what's the unifying thing? We crushed it. That's the unifying thing. Thank you, Tom.
Your plate's empty. That's why. You're licking your plate right now.
All of our plates didn't forget the bok choy. All right? That's the unifying thing.
We held hands while cooking it.
Yeah. That's the unifying thing.
UNITY.
Mm-hmm.
Even Jay was like, I've never made this before.
What the
What was this?
It
really sounded like, why do Asian if none of them were comfortable doing it?
It was, I think it was not a good team of people to be together too. I feel like, listen, Tom likes a leader. I don't know if they had a leader on that team or their leader was sick. That was a problem. Yeah, definitely cooking something you've never tasted before in your life is a bit of a mistake.
Mm-hmm.
I think they needed someone to kind of like pull them together.
Someone needed to take charge.
Yes.
Like Tom could have been like, who was in charge of this group?
Yeah.
And they would have said, oh, we all took the lead together.
We're three CEOs, Tom.
That's the problem. There's no three CEOs. All right.
We're three CEOs. We're all equal, and the company's being run smoothly. That's how the ship's being run.
And then they say, but don't you three share the judging position equally? And Tom would say, no, I'm head judge. Watch this. Padma, get me some coffee.
Yeah.
And she had to do it because he's head judge.
Yeah. She gets up and she gets coffee.
And then she pours it on his pours it slowly on his lap. And he said, so technically she didn't get it. Okay.
Yeah. Technically she got me coffee. I didn't say where to put it, but
maybe that's actually where I wanted it. Yeah. I do have to leave now.
5 minutes.
My penis is on fire.
Yeah.
My penis is soaked in hot liquid.
Yeah. I will be right back.
Mm-hmm. And is that what maybe the spotted dick dish is? That Buddha cooked?
Mm-hmm. Possibly. He made a beef dessert.
Mm-hmm. I mean, they showed like a brief. I didn't understand that. Like he was talking about doing pastry stuff, and then there was all of a sudden a picture of a pastry, and I was like, "Is that what the spotted dick is?" And I don't know if it was or not, but apparently he did a beef dessert, and it was good.
I don't get it though, because they used the rendered beef fat to make the pudding. I don't know what that food is, and I watch a lot of British baking show.
I almost just now I was very close to Googling it, and then I thought about the words in it, and I was like, I'm not going to Google it. I don't want to see what comes.
It's more of a symptom than a dish.
First, go to a doctor.
Yeah,
stuff I'm seeing, I don't want on my plate. So the first episode is 15 courses of beef, and so we all know none of the judges are taking a poop tonight. We cut back and the chefs are hanging out in the back room before judges' table. Let's listen to this. And then, someone kind of ruins the movie.
It felt good to be with everyone in the kitchen and be able to talk. That was like, actually being able to talk to each other was huge.
Everybody got food on the plate?
Everyone got
their food?
I did not. My braised bok choy. I think I should be okay, but it still sucks. Like they see it on the menu.
We're enjoying each other's company so much that I forgot someone's going home tonight.
Yeah. Don't bring it up.
It's just.
Why bring that up? Everyone's having such a good time. Why bring everyone back to reality? Let everyone have their little escape.
She also says it with the edit right after the one woman is like, I forgot something, but it should be okay.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like she thinks you're going home.
Yeah.
To jump ahead again in the judges' table when they're like, what combines all three of your dishes? And they're like, oh, Asian stuff. And they're like, did the bok choy have any like an Asian like sauce on it? And she was just like, no, just bok choy.
I just like meat and potatoes. And these people said that I had to do something Asian, so I threw that in there. And then I just forgot about it because I guess I didn't really want it in there.
Because I don't cook Asian.
Yeah. But I guess I'm going to still be here.
I'll be quite honest, everyone who's looking at my dish. It was meat and potatoes, and I said, the bok choy is not needed. I didn't forget it.
On purpose, edit. Yeah,
I think so.
So the judges, the judge table is done in front of everyone. which is interesting.
Yeah, they did that last
year.
Yeah, for the last new season.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's a new thing. And Robert wins.
I do find it weird that there was only one bottom team though, and not two bottom teams.
Well, because they're in teams of 3, probably. Because usually that's like it's the first one. You're only getting rid of one person. You don't need to grill 2 teams for this opener. But Robert wins. He was on the brown team. And Padma gets into the nitty-gritty with the red team. And I hate to say it because she's on my team.
Yep.
But Princess, Leia is eliminated. Let's listen.
Leah, please pack your knives and go.
Thank you so much. Even being in this kitchen for one day was just incredible.
It sucks. You don't put your life on hold to compete in the most prestigious cooking competition to be eliminated in the first challenge.
Leah, it's not over yet. There is a last chance kitchen, so you do have a shot at getting back in.
Thank you so much.
I made some very rookie mistakes. I was not focused. I did not pay attention to detail. It was not my best day, and it was me.
Guys, kick some ass.
I'm a fighter. Don't count me out just yet.
So let's talk about this, right? Well, let's look at our Top Chef Houston Fantasy League results. The same thing is happening that happened last season for Portland. I have someone who's going home first. Last time it was Roscoe. Now it's Leia. And so,
History.
But who's in the lead? Reeves. Reeves in the lead with 10 points. You got Robert and you got Buddha, who did good this week. I'm in second place because everyone on my team scored, almost everyone on my team scored over 1 point. So I got 8.5 points. And Brian, right where he belongs. Right.
How am I in last place?
You have 6.
You had someone go home.
I know, but I also had
it's fucked up.
I also had the winning team, the favorite team for the quickfire, so they get points for that. And I had my team made it to 2 people on my team made it to the judges table.
Yeah, it makes sense. The math adds up. I guess
I'm doing the math right. You can
must
look
have
it up.
Picked some bad people, I guess.
You just you refuse to pick more women, so your team is in last place.
I guess
it's fucked up. So yeah, Princess Leia went home, and to be honest, I was surprised up until the point where Kristen said that she spit her food out. She didn't like it so much, and that's when I thought, okay, well, I guess she's going home.
Yep.
I thought maybe it might be Stephanie, until Tom was like, I liked her food more than the other 2 dishes. And I was like, oh, well, Tom's the head judge. She's safe for sure.
He trumps everyone. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to go with Tom. Yeah. I love hearing Tom explaining Last Chance Kitchen again to someone as if they have it. He was kind of like, have you heard of this thing called, I got this other show that I'm really trying to get over. It's called Last Chance Kitchen. And I would really like you to come over. You actually kind of have to do it, but I don't know if you know about it, but you can be in it. And it's a way to get back into this show. No one ever shows up to it. I gotta get so
there's no fan. Yeah,
it's just me.
Yeah,
and you'll be there, and someone else, I guess.
I mean, it's good if you have someone who's doing Last Chance Kitchen and they stay in because they get half a point every week.
She's not gonna stay in.
Probably
I have a feeling.
Not.
I have a feeling she's going out. I am going to a restaurant. I made reservations for Saturday. Next Saturday.
Tell us, Brian, where are you going?
Which one?
South and Pine 2 Princess Leia's.
Yes.
Nice.
Carrie was like, you have a hard time getting reservations before the episode. And then she got sent home, and I was like, no, probably not.
Nice. Well, that'll be
Be
interesting.
sure to talk to her and say, hey, I'm Brian. I do the official Top Chef podcast. Can we get a picture? Thanks for having me. You're lucky to get this picture with me.
Tom sent me.
Tom Colicchio sent me. If you don't believe me, look it up. Pod Chef. It's a real thing.
It's a real thing. The official Top Chef podcast.
All right, Reeves. Do you want to do your Where Are They Now?
Yeah, where's she now? South and Pine. That's still going. She's another restaurant that I think sadly closed recently. And her name is Chef. It's like a TV show, I think on Apple Plus that she's in. So check out Leia, Princess. Also, all the Star Wars movies. She's in those.
Yep.
Or at least the last 6. Maybe not the last 3. Those were bad. So the 3 in the middle.
Okay.
She's in the one, but they digitally put her in there.
Oh, yeah. That's my favorite kind of person in a movie. When they're digitally added.
All right. Well, that's it for us this week. Until next time, we're going to pack our knives and go.